Alrighty. So welcome all to session 0.5. And we'll go over like any questions and possibly have a little bit of interaction on roleplaying. So
Alright.
So you're streaming right now?
yes, currently streaming. It's just showing the Roll20 uh, page.
Alright.
And
What's your username?
Sims Mid South. And for some reason, I thought I had this set up to where my camera would um, actually be like my name on Roll20 show my actual picture, like from my webcam. But ooh, I wonder if my dog accidentally pulled it out. That's probably what happened. So, let's see. Let's look at the character sheets on who's done. This is delete. And boop. And let's see. Boop, boop. This one. Okay. Yep, delete that character. All right. Remove the unneeded characters. All right.
What was it again?
Should be Sims Mid South. SIMSMIDSOUTH. All word.
Alright, I see it now.
So I turned off the notifications for Discord for desktop, but it's still making all the noise, and that's annoying.
Hmm.
Perhaps just mute the servers that are making all the noise.
That's a lot of servers. A lot.
Hmm.
Disable all sound notifications. There we go. Okay, actually, we'll just turn off message. Yep, that looks like all I needed to do is just turn off the message notification sound. All right. So, do you know what type of weapon you want to go with?
I was going to do like a sort of double-bladed sword that can detach into like two swords kind of thing. Kind of like Master Finn's shark fin sabers from Jungle Fury. Get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm actually just about to start SPD. Like,
Uh,
I just recently finished Dino Thunder and trying to watch them in order. Um,
nah, I gotcha. Yeah.
it's
Well, I, gue- I guess a better example would be Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber, except regular swords.
so, um, which is weird because like, okay, so the Blue Ranger is required to have a two-handed power weapon. It doesn't ever say that it
Hmm.
can't be a single-handed because his actual things go to one hand.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a it can turn from a trident into two psi like, you know, lances or whatever. Because that's what the power lance does is it can combine into one weapon for a reach effect, or it can be like two weapons for
so Power Lance,
dual.
it it's one or two. So because it is two hands, yeah. Um, so you can just go off of the Power Lance in the equipment or weapon
Yeah, that's
section.
what I was gonna do.
Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty easy. Um, uh, it is weird that it's energy though. You said swords, so instead of energy one, it would be uh, sharp one,
Okay.
and
Well, don't all power weapons deal energy damage?
uh, they can deal energy damage, and actually, I don't think all, just the MMPR ones. Oh my god, child. What? Ooh, my dog's crying. Do you have to go outside? Hmm? Tell me? Alright, I need to shake him, just let him outside. Fortunately, the door's right here. Um, but yeah, they, as alternate effects, they can do energy damage.
Uh,
They don't necessarily do energy damage right off the bat. Like the power axe is, I don't know why it's blunt, but it should be sharp. And then you can do the energy cannon attack.
right. I mean, have you seen the power axe? It's a pretty blunt looking piece of uh, weaponry.
Right, but it has an edge. That's why it's called an axe, right?
I suppose, yeah.
Or else it would be a power mallet.
Or power hammer.
Yeah,
Or power mace.
power maul.
Either one works. Let's see.
And if you don't mind, everybody to change your colors of on your like name icons to the color of the ranger that you're playing, just make it a little bit also easier.
There we go.
Oh no.
What?
Normal's green. Too much green.
No, it's too much pink. Anyways, which, I mean, it makes sense. Just having somebody just doing volleys of shots. You know, it can be. It's not fair. Defeating the enemy before they get to you. Give me just 1 second. I'll be right back.
He's right, back in ancient Greece, they used to think that ranged weapons were dishonorable.
I mean, if both parties have a ranged weapon, I think it's fair game.
Yeah. If
But
you've
also,
read, huh?
the bow only does like the same damage as everything else, just at a range.
I gotcha. I'm just saying.
You also need to be skilled enough to actually hit with a bow.
Right. I should know. I've used a bow before, and it is not easy to hit a target.
They are not, no. I did
Very
archery
hard.
tag like a year ago.
I one time worked at a Renaissance festival and at the archery range, like showing people on how to actually hold and shoot the bow. And like most people do it completely wrong. Like in shows and stuff, they have it
Right.
like on the outside, and it's like no, you have it like the bow's at an angle, and it's resting on it, not
Right.
resting on the hand.
Right.
And I've always said I'd rather die by somebody using a bow and arrow than a gun because it takes more skill.
Right.
I mean, that just sounds cooler in general, being taken out by bow.
Have you seen the TV show Ghosts?
I have
I'm
not.
not.
There is a ghost who has an arrow in his neck.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's really funny. Or I think it's a good show. Um, so I didn't have to let my dog out. I just had to bring the water bowl over to him. He's a little special. A
I
lot,
feel that.
a lot special.
Aren't they all?
Oh
I
no,
had to
no.
give my dog a bath today.
Oh gosh.
She kept running away. It was very difficult.
I actually found this thing at Walmart, which is interesting. Like it sticks to the like wall of the tub or shower, and you can put peanut butter on it, so they get distracted with that.
Hmm.
And it's like a shape of a bone.
Nice.
Sorry, everyone. I'm just filling out my character sheet still.
It's okay. Um,
Uh,
and
while
something.
we're
Hmm?
sorry, I was gonna say while I'm doing this, maybe we can go around and tell each other about and the watchers of our characters a bit.
Well, another thing we haven't actually it hasn't been decided yet is what actual theme to go with. Um, because the whole premise is Rita won,
Hmm.
and it's been 10 years since she has taken over the world. Um, Martial arts and training has been outlawed. Um, like TV show, movie stuff is okay, like, but any form of like educational structure or thing has been outlawed. And it's pretty just a normal go with everything. Like, it's like as now it says for there's putties walking around, and if things like there's a bunch of people that are trying to do martial arts, then there's a monster attack probably.
Right. Okay.
CC and Normal and me were actually talking about that last week. After we had finished character sheets, we were talking about ideas. And one that we really liked was the idea of like ghost rangers.
How would that work?
It was getting kind of weird, not gonna lie, but I don't know. It'd be kind of like Zeo, where all the rangers kind of look the same. It's just like they have slightly different looking mask.
They have
Yeah,
the number of what they're associated with.
yeah. Maybe like some type of like you mentioned earlier, like an arrow through neck, like something on their costume that represents like some way of dying.
That is definitely different. Like
I was.
never heard of
Hmm,
that before.
yeah, that's pretty dark. But maybe I was thinking maybe like uh, well, you haven't seen Mystic Force yet, so you wouldn't really get this. But I was thinking maybe like magic, some manner of ancient magic similar to like fairy tales or something.
That'd be interesting. We actually had an idea for the Zords too, for like using mythical animals.
Yeah, because I really wanted to make my character's Zord be like a Thunderbird or something like that. Make it similar to the Falcon Zord.
I think Cece was thinking about having a unicorn. It was a unicorn or a hummingbird, I believe is what he said. And then for normal, he was like, I want a spider or a monkey. And we were like, do a spider monkey.
Oh,
That'd be
right.
hilarious.
That that explains the spider monkey from Ben 10 I saw earlier in the chat.
Yeah. And then I had thought about going with something like a phoenix or something.
Well, we can't all
Something
be birds.
there can only be one.
Well, actually, you could all be birds. I mean, there's a
Ooh,
game.
we could be like that. We could be like that parody of Super Sentai from Persona 5, Featherman.
Well, I mean, like,
Like,
there's a whole board game based for just all the different types of birds. Wingspan. I mean, so there's a bunch of birds to choose from, and they have different aspects. It would be different. I've heard of somebody like, oh, you guys could do snakes. Like, I'll pass on that one.
I mean, it's an interesting idea, but I don't know how big I am for like all of us just having the same animal, just different species of the animal.
Yeah, I feel that.
Now, canines I can understand, or cats. That's a little bit more understandable because there's more of a variety. I mean, there's a variety with birds, but I mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
with Jungle Fury, their initial Zord was was three jungle cats, a tiger, a jaguar, and a cheetah.
they must have really liked Kitty.
Were they? I wait. Oh, they were. I I'd completely forgot about that. But yeah, if it were something like felines, that'd be a bit different since they're pretty distinctly different and very diverse.
Felines or canines. I mean, canines can be very diverse. I mean, you got like Chihuahuas, and then you have Weimaraners.
Wolf, lime, wolves,
Uh,
Coyotes.
foxes.
yeah. So
I don't know what's a Chihuahua though. I don't know if anyone here would really want to be a Chihuahua.
it's really loud, but doesn't really have big bite.
It
It's just
has
like a
small.
human-sized Zord.
It's just like a
Hmm.
mech suit. Like the Centurions.
We just like combine our Zords and the Chihuahua becomes the eye because it's so small. Or a finger.
It's
Or it's kind
asymmetric.
of like, or it's like the soul bird from Wild Force, where it's the cockpit.
I never understood that part. Wild Force was just it was horrible. I didn't like it.
Ah, what?
I
Come on, you gotta have liked at least Forever Red or the Time Force crossover
oh,
reinforcements from the future.
Time Force was probably so far hands down my favorite season. Um,
Definitely one of my favorites.
just because it got so dark and like it was really more serious than like I'm good with campy and stuff, but I like it a little bit serious as well and
I
dark.
feel you. Yeah.
Because it felt like it was the end. Like if they don't win, everybody loses. With Rita, it didn't never really feel like that.
Right, it was just Monster of the Week.
I think for me, my favorites definitely like Dino Thunder and SPD.
Dino Thunder was hard for me to watch, but my favorite episode, I believe, was episode 18, I think, where their personalities changed. And I absolutely loved Kira in that episode. Because she's all like, yeah! Whenever.
So she becomes a valley girl.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why it was like, it. I liked it for her. The Blue and Red Ranger, not so much. It was just like,
Mm.
they, like, totally overplayed it on that. It was just like, how does the smart person just get dumb? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, it's their personality. Their personality is not stupid. I mean, you could do stupid things, but
I mean, you can make them clumsy or something, but not straight up stupid. I mean, how does that even work? I know, right?
and he was like, "Oh, I just got to work on my body," and just not so smart and stuff. And the person who was the jock becomes super super smart all of a sudden, and it's like, but Kira was just the best in that because how she said "yeah" after that,
Mm.
her acting was so
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Although I was wondering, it's like I watched Dino Thunder, and it's like when they first got their powers to morph, uh, Tommy said, you know, Dino power, Dino Thunder power up. He never said yeah. He never yelled. Like, why are you guys always yelling after that? He never told you to do that.
Eh,
Traditional.
eh. Yeah, I mean, again, I call back to Wild Force here, where it was like, Wild Access, yeah! Or something like that. I mean, it's just a Power Rangers tradition to just yell high pitched karate grunts whenever you do something.
Yeah, I just when they're morphing, I just wish they wouldn't do that part. I understand during fighting because a key a spirit yell is just possibly startle your opponent and to reinforce your core so you don't take as much damage when you get hit in the stomach type stuff. I get this. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it just I don't know. It that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Oh no, why can't I?
I think the concept was really cool though for Dino Thunder.
Yeah,
It's
it's like a
Tommy.
legacy scene. It's a legacy season.
He just like brought back the Dino powers, and I thought that was so cool because like
Sort
it
of.
directly relates to Mighty Morphin because of
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah, like I said, it's a legacy season done right.
The I don't know. It was kind of weird. I lose respect for when the lead ranger is like, "Let's blow up our Zords."
Looking at you, TJ.
Yeah, not only once, but he tried twice. Twice.
I don't understand why the villain needed it to begin with.
He was too strong. And like, well, I mean, you guys, they weren't actually critically damaged. They were like, they were hurt. They're still functional. They could have just returned back and recovered, but they didn't. They're like, let's blow it up. Although I do believe somebody said it's also they're slaves to the Sentai, but
Yeah.
in space didn't have that. But in space, their ship got critically damaged. That's understandable. Although the question is, whatever happened to the AI on the ship?
They just said see you later. Got out of there, man.
Here's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What's your favorite artificial intelligence character in Power Rangers? For me, it's Circuit from Time Force.
I mean, Circuit's pretty good. Well, do enemies count?
Well, that's more of a villain thing. Uh, that counts more as a villain. I was talking more like allies to like the Rangers, AI allies.
I haven't seen every series because I had been watching them and then they've taken off of Netflix. So I don't know if there's some I'm missing, but I really like Alpha
Which
because
one?
yes.
No. No. Wrong answer.
And then I liked the dog from SPD because he was just a dog and he wasn't like
Oh, Cougar?
this. He would no.
Oh,
Was his name Cougar?
Doggy Cougar?
That was
Doggy
was
Kruger, no, that was the leader, wasn't he? The leader
Yeah.
of he was the Shadow Ranger. Oh wait,
Doggy. Doggy was the leader, but Cougar was his assistant that became like the orange White Ranger later on.
no, that was Cat Manx.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That I know
Wh-
Cat is, the white orange, which
Why
is
is his
actually
last name
white.
Cougar?
Doggy Cougar. That's just I don't
That's
know.
such a strange name.
I mean,
Eh,
he's Syrian. Well, he's from the planet Sirius. Um, so, um, and according to the role-playing book, Goldar is too. Well, actually,
Wow.
not that he's from the planet, but that's what race he is. But everybody's like, he's a monkey. I'm like, I could see he looks kind of like a pug. But yeah, I totally. It's all uh, Wizard of Oz references with them.
But yeah, the dog is one of my favorites because it's just a dog. It's not this sentient animal that's like robotic. It's just a dog that turns into a gun, which I think is hilarious.
Oh, that I
Okay,
don't know
okay.
that.
Here's a better question for y'all. Favorite extra Ranger.
That's a hard one.
For me, Magna Defender
Which one?
from Lost Galaxy, the first one, or I guess both him and Mike. But I like the first one better. You have something that belongs to me. Give me the rock now or be destroyed.
Yeah, he was a little bit more vicious than Mike was, but
Yeah, I could take him seriously. Yeah, like he was pretty intimidating with the armor design and whatnot. And he had a gun or a sword that turned into a gun, which automatically makes him awesome.
I really like the Quantum Ranger. I like how he was very antagonistic towards the team.
Yeah, yeah. And I love how he actually tries to give the quantum powers to the other Silver Guardians, but it doesn't work.
I do like how they addressed like people being different, like the alien, like where he was trying to kill one of the actual
Mutants, but he
mutants,
was,
and
huh?
what's his name?
Trip.
Trip. Yeah, Trip got in the way.
It,
So
yeah, there was a bit of a moment of possible racism there because Eric was just thought all mutants are evil or something like that.
Yeah, that's one of his best parts is that he was racist, and then he became not racist. At least I think he did. I don't know if it was ever touched upon again. I
uh,
just remember that one scene.
I think it did change, but like that's the one big issue that I have with most of the Rangers stuff is like they'll try to introduce something and then just it goes away. You know,
Yeah,
That applies to all series though. They're always like throwing a scene in there that makes you think, "Wow, that character's interesting," and then they just never go back to it again.
Eh, anyone remember Ninjor?
who can't who can't forget Ninjor when that's actually like that season was the Ninjetti season was supposed to be a completely different season, not still
Yeah, it was
MMPR.
right. Behold the power of ninja.
The great ninja.
You snippety little upstart. You happen to be looking at him. I am the great ninja.
Ooh, that makes me so mad. He almost sounds like Marvin the Martian almost.
Yeah, he's voiced by Dudley Do-Right from the Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon.
Oh, that makes perfect sense then.
Okay, I think I am almost done. If anyone wants to look over my work, that'll be fine.
Yes, I will happily look over people's work. Um,
I mean, I think for now we just need like backstory since there's not going to be any actual combat today.
right.
Right.
There might be some a little bit of roleplay. You haven't done your weapon yet, but that's okay. You don't have any armors. Don't worry about inventory really, because that's what story points are for.
Mm-hmm.
Story reports are for inventory?
So, story point, you can spend a story point to have an item that you need for the scene, like a key item that you need. So, it's like,
Really?
yeah, like, oh,
Know
we
that
needed this
part.
key card. Spend a story point. We got the key card. Uh, but I definitely will not like just let that go like nilly willy necessarily. You know, yeah, like oh, we need some rope type. Oh, I got my backpack. Here's some rope. That is okay. Needing a key card to get into a secure place, you're gonna need to actually work for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I usually put the watch that teleports, the communicator watch, like the morpher in the inventory, just because it's listed on the sheets as
Right.
items you have.
Right.
Right.
And so that's another question on like how should we go with the morphers? I'd rather not do cell phones because that is so overdone.
Yeah. I was thinking like a wrist sort of morpher, but kind of similar to like well, you don't know what Beast Morphers is yet, so you have like a key, kind of like the Zeonizer or Tommy's Dino Thunder Morpher. Eh,
Or who?
Turbo.
What was his name? Magna Defender.
Oh yeah,
Tommy.
Magna Defender.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
forgot he had that from Die Ranger,
I
or the Morpher was from Die Ranger anyway.
I always thought
Yeah.
that was kind of weird, personally. Um, I I do like the idea in a way of in space or not necessarily in space, but like Ninja Storm.
Or Lost Galaxy.
How about something that's like clothing, like a glove?
I don't know. I don't know if that works or not, because making it a mundane item just kind of defeats the purpose of making it less spectacular, I feel. Or I don't know if
Like
spectacular is the right word, but
like
you know what I mean.
like a like I actually one of my friends is like, oh, you should use this as a morpher. I have a bracelet that's actually a USB charger. Like
Hmm.
yeah, so it has a
Neat.
USB on one half, and on the other part that connects to it has uh, the C port charger.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
yeah, and then it wraps around your wrist, and that way you don't have to worry about ever not having a cord with you.
I mean,
Well,
I bring up a mundane item like a glove because I don't want to be walking around with like a large a watch on my wrist, and people are going to be like, "Whoa, what's with that giant watch you're wearing?"
Well,
Like Ben 10 from Ben, like with his Omnitrix, be like, "Oh, no, that's just my watch, you know? It's just enormous for no reason."
I like to be able to read the numbers. um. Uh. Well, it could be like how Zio did, like the wrist twist to actually summon them.
Yeah, that could work too. Yeah. Or maybe it's like a mix between Zeo and Lost Galaxy's Super Sentai what was it called? Yeah, the original Sentai for Lost Galaxy was like something men.
I don't know that
Uh
one. I've not seen any of the Sentai.
Neither have I, but I just know the name for some reason. But anyway, in the Sentai footage that originally, rather than just tapping their wrist, they had a dial on it that set their colors to the their designated colors. They had a dial that they twisted to set it to their designated color.
Oh, that could actually be pretty interesting.
Here,
Sort like
let me pull it up because it's like in the it's in the Lightspeed Rescue.
Like this one?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So what they do is they turn the dial with the arrow on it, and it turns to their designated color there on the color palette.
I think that's okay. I mean, just I don't really, I really don't want the cell phones. I always thought it was weird for Wild Force that they have cell phones. That
Oh, it gets it weirder in later seasons. Trust me. In the next season after SPD.
Mystic
Force.
Force.
I know about Mystic Force, but yeah,
Have you seen their morphers?
I've not.
Oh
Um,
my god.
I
I don't know if I want to spoil it for you. It's hilarious and disgusting at the same time.
It's not disgusting, I wouldn't say, but it's definitely weird.
let's see. So, let me double check everybody's like weapons and stuff. Um,
Still need to work on my weapon, sorry.
yeah, it's okay. Um,
Okay. I'll just put it down as the power lance for the time being.
yeah, and just like I said, just have it as a sharp instead of the energy one.
All right. Would it
And
be a finesse weapon or a might weapon?
just the same as it is.
Hold on, let me look that up real quick.
Um,
Doesn't it have to be a finesse weapon for the Blue Ranger?
no, no. It just has to be
Two-handed weapon.
two-handed, which is weird because it's like it has to be two-handed. And it's like, but technically they list the his weapon as one or two, so it's like that confuses me. Because it's like, is it supposed to be one or two? Is like the two automatically granted just because it has the ability of having two-handed?
Doesn't really say what attack it uses.
Okay, so Power Lance is might, medium, melee.
Okay, thank you.
You're not a problem. And the big thing is do we need to change that to a different one? Because there's upgrades, and we can easily do that. Just changing the handle on the weapon
Hmm.
can change it to if you need it to be a finesse weapon.
Okay, hold on.
Or if you need it to be athletics, which that's kind of weird.
Let's see. Would it be one? You said one sharp
Yeah,
or
one sharp. Well, so that's yeah. So Power Lance, yeah, one. I don't know why it has if yeah one if you have it in individually and when it's broken down to two one-handed weapons. It's one sharp, and when it's two hands, it would be uh,
Too
two
sharp.
sharp, and then you can do energy one, multiple targets, to reach, and it's a downshift of one. It's really hard.
Where
It's I don't like how Roll20 has the alternate effects. Like you have to roll and then it shows all the alternate effects, or you have to edit the weapon to see the alternate effects. So if you want to actually do another like create a second weapon for the alternate effects, that's perfectly understandable. So
okay, so you
Yeah,
said
that's what I did with the Blade Blaster.
oh yeah,
I created like sword mode and then gun mode.
yeah. And also,
right.
don't forget, like, it's always still good to have your brawling and strike attacks in there, just because it's easy to just click, click, click.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay, so
What's a strike attack?
so it's finesse attack. So knife hand chops, kicks, pressure points, which is also funny because brawling is punches, kicks, headbutts, knees, elbows, bites. I don't know how you would bite with a helmet on, but
I mean, it can still work without your helmet.
right.
You can still fight without
Or
your
you could
helmet.
just demorph.
And they both have silent, which also doesn't make a lot of sense because I don't know. I've not
I
seen an
mean,
episode where they punched or anything
I
and
mean,
not made noise.
in comparison to like a sword, if you were to hit the ground, that would definitely make a lot more noise than if you were to punch it. And like if you were to punch something, the only reason it'd make noise is because it would depend on what you're actually punching. If it's another person, probably not a lot of noise because yeah, meat doesn't make that much noise when you hit it. But if it was something like a door, probably would vibrate and make quite a bit of noise.
Yeah, I've like some. I love this. I love the system. Like I've done quite a few one shots. Like ran the at Gen Con and stuff. I love the system, hands down, my new favorite system, and I've been playing since third edition 3.5 since 2003, and yeah, um, just some of the weapons on this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we can always make it work, right?
We made a chain whip work, like a chain sword work. So
Yeah.
Chain swords are cool.
so what was strike again? Like how do you describe it?
So it has strike is knife hand chops, kicks, pressure points. So things that you have to like a more sophisticated and educated manner in which to pummel enemies is the definition or description. Brawling is natural weapons or simple wearable weapons that hit with blunt impact.
What was the skill size and style for that though? Was it just finesse integrated melee?
For strike, yeah, but you can you get Sun One, but you can make it a blunt damage for a downshift of one, and you can maneuver for a downshift of one. So, um, like maneuver is like grappling, like tossing them, tripping them, types things. Brawling, on the other hand, is also stun, but its alternate effect is blunt one, downshift two, but has defaults of maneuver as well. Has everybody like played like a demo of this game yet, or no? Like,
No.
I ran a campaign of one, or a one shot rather, of one a while back.
I'm currently in 2 campaigns that had started off recently. And I don't think CC's played that.
Nope.
it's okay. Have do you have any like D&D experience?
Some for Digimon. And I've done like a D&D campaign before. Uh, what other ones? And I've done, oh, what was it called? I always forget the name of it now. Quartets.
I've not heard of those. I mean, I didn't even know Digimon had a role playing game.
Yep.
Pretty fun.
I I'm a fan of Digimon. I think it was about like 2 or 3 copies of Digimon World 2, just because something happened to like one of the discs each time.
Okay. You. I think I am about set. Do we not have to worry about armor at the moment?
No, the armor section is kind of weird. Um, you will have armor based off of what your role is proficient in. When you morph, you'll automatically get that bonus to your toughness.
Okay.
The armor there is for basically like for the Quantum Ranger. He was an officer beforehand, so he had an actual armor, like body armor, so he would have that on.
Okay.
That's what that really is for. I know it's kind of slightly weird, but
Okay, I guess.
the other like it's the aura of the grid essentially, an aura shell type thing. Um, so let me look over here, people's sheets. It's always good to have some well varied skills,
Mm-hmm.
because having everybody just really good in one thing, somebody's gonna fail the other stuff. Like nobody has animal handling. It's like, oh, we got to deal with an animal. Congratulations, people, you're getting mauled.
I mean, I don't
I
I don't I've never really met anyone who's put points into animal handling because it just never is helpful in any situation.
hi, how are
Very
you?
situational.
It is super situational, but yeah, I definitely have. I've done that. So just because I, I I try to like get D2s in most of everything that I can, like, such for like I know I need um like I know I need good attack, so I try to get that to D6, and I specialize in the weapon I'm using. And then everything else is like generally try to get to like D2s, just so I can be a jack of all trade, and you know not like we'll have somebody that can do something.
I mean, when it comes to this system, I tend to spec into very specific abilities because, like, I don't really like the idea of just putting D2s into everything because that's not going to add very much. It's going to add, like, at most 2 points to my roll, which is not going to be helpful most of the
Right.
time. And the fact that it's like it's chance based, it's like RNG on top of RNG. It That's like the few things I really don't like about this system because I would rather just have a +1 or a +2 rather than a possible +2. Because like I could have a D10 and then just get 1, and that just seems super unfair to me.
Well, that's what stories are points are for. Story points, if whenever you roll skill dice, you can spend a story point to re-roll any result of 1. You can also spend a story point to roll a skill test as if specialized. Uh, Spend a point to get +5 defense. Must be spent before die results are announced. And like I said, spend a story point to gain temporary access to a minor piece of equipment or tool useful in a scene. Like I said, like having a rope, you need a grappling hook, or you know, uh, just something like that. Oh, we need our computers. Oh, don't worry, I brought mine. Uh, but again, like the access card to a secure location. That no. Some perks will also uh, require spending of a story point, and the Rangers team can spend 1 story point per team member to cause a grid power bloom generating 1d2 personal power for each team member. Ways you can get story points are skill test fumbles, which is a result of 1 on the d20, and failing the skill test is a fumble. So generally something bad will happen, of course, but you get a story point to learn from the fumble. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Particularly action-packed or exciting scenes should add. Ingenious ideas that result in moving the plot forward. Particularly good role-playing scenes or playing up a PC's flaw. But beware, I will also be getting some story points by NPC personalities making critical success on skill tests. And at the beginning of each major scene, I get 1d2 plus 1. And you'll keep track of the story points yourselves, and each session starts with 1 story point per character.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Zeppelin, do you have the book?
Yes, I have both a physical copy and a digital copy.
All right, cool. Then you're good then.
I got my physical copy signed by Jason David Frank.
Nice.
Whoa.
I would have also gotten it signed by Jason Font, the Red Time Force Ranger. He's visiting town today, but I wasn't really feeling like going out today, so that was a missed opportunity.
I'm so sad. The Heroes of the Grid Time Force stuff was supposed to be here already, and Time Force Red was actually at a free comic book day doing a signing, like 15 minutes away from where I live. And I'm like, it needs to get here in time for me to go get signed. And yeah, that didn't happen.
I feel that.
Because I want him to sign, like, it would be my first signature on player card, but I think it would be cool. I did enjoy how his character was and evolved. I didn't understand like why people think that he was actually the leader. I mean, like, yeah, they needed his DNA, but at the same time,
it was Jen that was the leader.
Jen definitely was the leader, but she even stated that he was the leader. I think it's like so the whole entire alpha wolf idea is actually not accurate. The alpha and beta will switch depending on the needs. So that's kind of what happens with them, with Jen and Wes. But it was just weird that like all of a sudden she's like, "Yeah, he's the leader." I'm like, "What? What? You're like, no, what? That makes no sense."
All right. I think I got everything done. Can you look it over or something?
Yeah. All right. Um, looks good. If you want to also put in your oh, so when it's combined, it's too sharp
Oh,
because it has
oh,
it's
really?
two. Well, we'll do one sharp, one energy, just be a little bit different.
Okay, hold on.
So I do like for that I do one S, one E abbreviation for it, just to make it easy.
Okay, so is that for the effect or alternate effect for energy?
Well, for the combined, it will be the main effect one S, one E.
Okay,
There are things that might be immune to energy, so and there might be things that are immune to sharp damage.
all right.
And feel free to add the blade blaster, like blade, if you want to write down the blade part, and definitely the blaster part, which I mean you have targeting, so
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was gonna specialize in was using my blade blaster.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily suggest specializing in blade blaster, just
Well,
having
no, I meant
targeting.
like that's what I meant is like I didn't mean like that specialization. I meant like I might use my blaster more so than my actual weapon.
Yeah, I've played a game where the person that was one of the players didn't have any targeting, and it was like, "I'm going to use my blade blaster," and it's like, "Oh, whiff, 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 whiff." You know, you might want to not use your blade blaster. Um,
I made I made that mistake. I was the Pink Ranger and I kept using the sword
what?
when I first started out.
Oh man, Pink Ranger does nothing but shoot, shoot, shoot.
Yeah, well, in most of our situations, we were like right next to them, so I had no choice but to either run as far as I could, which wasn't very far, or just stab them and hope it works.
You okay? So if you're in melee combat, yeah, you're gonna suffer from that. But if you take a 5 foot step back, you're not in melee combat with them. And you can do that as your move or as a free action. Actually, you can move for 5 feet. Just so you know.
I
I
didn't know moving 5 feet was a free action.
yeah. Let me find. Thinking about starting to put like tab stickies in my on my book. Like I like having the PDF at the same time, but at the same time, it's just sometimes it's just hard to find stuff because like you gotta wait for it to load.
Yeah, I'm glad that they recently added in the ability to like actually search stuff up. Because they're still working on this, man, and it was kind of annoying because the sheets and book functioned a bit differently like a month or two ago, and they've been updating it, so it's gotten a bit better.
Yeah. I'm really happy with how they're handled. Like, yeah, some things could have handled better, but at the same time, like they're doing a good job on like, okay, so there's these mistakes. We're trying to get this stuff taken care of, you know. And uh, the Discord server, you know, like great for finding answers that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Boop, boop, boop. So, fun things to do for combats. Boo. Combat actions. Attack action, contingency action. So contingency is D&D's held action. Uh, you state, if this happens, I do this. Defend, as long as you know the attack is coming in, all attacks will suffer a downshift 1. You can attempt to hide. Um, you can lend assistance. Issue with lend assistance is you have to be in range of the target. So, or within reach. So, um, reach times two works. If your weapon has laser damage, then it actually can be done from afar.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but lending assistance can either give an edge to an attack or an automatic upshift. And multiple people can lend assistance and make it easier to get something knocked down. You can use a non-combat skill and sprint. Those are the combat actions. Um, and based off of what your speed is how many free actions you get and actions you could do. So, speed of 1, you can either choose move or a standard action. Speed 2, you get a move and standard. And for each additional speed above that are how many free actions you get. And there's different things that you can use free actions for, like let me see where it's at. Free actions. Opening. Okay, so opening, closing an object, container, door. Reloading a standard weapon. Safely putting a weapon item away, and putting a passcode. Cutting, untying a prisoner's bond. Eating, drinking a single item. Finding a specific item in a backpack container. Playing a short tune on a musical instrument. Joining 2 combinable technology components. Pick up 5 feet square worth of objects. That's some like. There's other stuff that you can do with free actions, like you can aim. You can take aim when you're going to be doing a ranged attack. Uh, you can do it up to 3 times, and for each of those, you get a upshift 1. And then the movement is where you can, as a free action, move another 5 feet. It's really weird that they have the movement and the aiming not in the free action section. Um, you can also, on as a move action, if during a combat, you can, after the first round of combat, you can try to reset your initiative if your initiative is just really crap. Um, Hopefully that won't be a problem with red, because pretty much I think everybody's just going to follow red.
You don't have to follow me. But I'll make sure to put points to initiative just to be safe.
I mean, yeah, red should definitely have some initiative, because I'm not saying that you need to, but it's always a really good idea because everybody can follow you, and for each person that follows you, your uh, result will go up by 1, and they roll a d4 and minus that from whatever your total initiative is, and that's what there is. Um, there's some actual there's a perk where you can get edge on initiative rolls. There's lots of I love this system. There's so much fun stuff to do. I love creativity, so if I ask for people to roll a certain type of skill and you don't have it, but you can think of another skill that you could utilize, explain your work, and I will more than likely will say, yeah, roll for it.
You were like, you were the one who told the story about animal handling the cops, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, I let that go for the first time because, like, no one ever said that before. So I ran one of the one shots, and the people got in trouble with the cops, and one person's like, "Can I use animal handling?" I'm like, "No one's ever asked to do that. I will let it go this one time. That's the only time I'll let this go because it's, you know, very inappropriate. But I thought it was also funny. Um, my late spouse was a police officer, so um, I can make. I think I have a right to make fun of it. um, because he always did. So, uh, nice thing about this is also group checks. Um, so not everybody's going to be super sneaky. That's okay. If the majority of people pass any skill test, everybody passes on like trying to sneak in stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is very helpful. You know, I always hate it like, oh, we got that one person who failed. Like, you just got us killed.
Yeah, I hate that when we're doing something very specific, like stealthing, and we know there's that one party member who didn't put anything into stealth, and the DM's like, "Oh, go in there, boys. I'm waiting. I'm waiting."
That's when you're like, all right, non-stealthy person, you stay here.
I am that person who didn't put points into infiltration.
That's okay.
I didn't either. I only had 2 speed points, and I just put it into initiative. For me, I'm like mainly going a strength and social build, because as a Red Ranger, I get a lot of strength. And I generally play pretty social characters, so I put pretty much most of my points into social.
Um, yeah, everything looks pretty okay. Not many people are specialized, but that's okay. You can always spend a story point to be specialized. But honestly, you really, I would only suggest doing that at like if you have a D6 or more.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, I
because
don't do specializations. Not until like there's something that I do often enough that I feel like I need to do specialization for it.
well, I mean, power weapon attacks makes the most sense on having a specialization. But again, like if you have a D6 in it or more, because you can only crit on the D4 and up, excluding the D20. So the D20 and D2 do not actually give crits. But that's okay, and whatever dice, when you roll the dice, so let's say you have a D6 and you're specialized, um, you can take the 4 if it's higher than the 6, the D4, or if the D6 is higher and the 4 is at the highest and the skill is successful, that's a critical success. So the dice that you choose doesn't have to be the one that had the highest face value of that dice. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like,
This is a bit off topic,
hmm.
but going back to like the theme thing for our group, you mentioned fairy tales, and I was like, what would be some good fairy tales? And I was like, ooh, Little Red Riding Hood. I think that'd be cool for me.
Yeah, you can be like a wolf Zord or something. Big B wolf.
Granny
and then
Wolf.
C-
Or Granny Wolf, yeah. Granny Wolf, there we go.
and then CC could be Robin Hood and have some type of bird sword.
Or fairy tales, as in you could do like fairy tale monsters, like actual, or I say fairy tales, not necessarily like standard fairy tale monsters, but there's
I was
folklore of for every different country has their fairy tales, as we would call them.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going for is like folklore things.
Would cryptids count under that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like what?
Cryptids like
Like
Thunderbirds or the Alkali Lake Monster or Loch Ness
Nessie,
Monster.
Yeah, just
Bigfoot.
yeah, different countries have, you know, mythological creatures or fairy tale creatures. Um, technically, the Quetzalcoatl. Um,
Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl.
yeah, pronunciation's not necessarily my best thing. I do apologize. Um, let's see. There's lots of you know different
I mean,
creatures
the
from
Quetz
different areas.
the Quetzalcoatl, I feel like that's more of like a legend, like a mythological creature rather than a folklore because because like that's part of the Aztec mythology.
Right, but it's technically it would be kind of a fairy tale. Like it's not necessarily proven. So
So things like chimeras, Cerberus, dragons, they'd be allowed to.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah, I'm I'm actually in I play in a game on Monday nights, and our team is the Mystic Force, and we have uh, mythological creatures, and I'm actually Chimera. But I mean, there's so many like many different creatures in lore that it you can easily find different things. Um, or you can do actual animals that like regular animals. Um, I was going to be playing in a game, but had to drop out, and I was going to be the Llama Ranger.
I mean, I wouldn't mind either. It's just like we need to establish one or the other.
Um, let's see, we got
Cause like
well,
again,
we're only missing one person right now. So um,
are you talking about normal or you mean
yeah,
out of a 5-man group?
no, normal is not here today. So but so almost like there's three people that are here. So um, like that's majority of people. So whatever you guys want to decide on. CC, do you have input? Mm, CC is not here, I
He,
guess.
he's muted. I guess he left a while ago.
He's usually just
Um,
doing work in the background.
well, I think I. Sorry, guys. Uh, I think something's coming up in a little bit, so I may need to drop out for the time being
For today?
because, well, I got my character sheet
Right.
all fixed up and stuff. But if we want to like continue this later or maybe tomorrow or something.
So my normal schedule I was planning was starting at 2 and running maybe about 3 hours. That should be enough time for combat and role playing. Might be less. So, but
Ah, shoot. Uh, sorry. Eh, sorry, I don't know if I can play anymore today because
that
I think I. Huh?
that's like for today. That's fine. This was mainly like trying to do session. We tried to do a session 0 last week. We had two people missing. Most of everybody worked on their character sheets, and um, you know, this was like point 0.5, maybe 1 session, but so it's fine for
Right.
this week, I guess. Um, and I
All
understand.
right.
I'm pretty lenient as long as people tell me, you know, life happens. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just let
Again, really sorry.
let me know ahead of time, like when things, if you know. Um, That's also part of the reason why the other people are currently not here because, uh, like, I had to call them and like, hey, I see that you didn't do your character sheet. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make it today. Okay, nope. You could have told
Okay.
me this
Well,
earlier, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Sorry. I really need to going. I'll see you guys around. Hopefully, we can continue this on another day. That's less like busy.
Perhaps.
All right. Later.
But okay. Well, and CC's still muted. Um,
Yeah. So are you gonna look for a fifth player or just the four of us?
I'm still looking for fifth player. Um, but we still didn't like really decide. But CC was muted, so don't know what theme. Uh, but yeah, I will try to find a fifth player and get their character done before we actually are trying to play. Because I literally
Fine.
found out that they weren't going to be showing up again. Just
Yeah,
20,
that's
20 minutes
understandable.
20 minutes beforehand, only because I called. So yeah. Um,
I mean, I didn't know how well those guys are doing because they never texted in the chat or anything.
the socially awkward people, um, and like it, they're good people. They're just trying to like be integrated with other people. Sometimes it's a little bit hard. So, um, but they, yeah, like the one that was in hospital last week, had heat exhaustion like yesterday and is still affected by it. I'm like, you can easily prevent heat exhaustion, especially living in Colorado. Like, just you need to be drinking lots of water and using an umbrella for shade. You know,
I mean,
and the person
I
lived
I
in
suffer from
Phoenix, so Phoenix, Arizona.
I
Hmm.
I suffer from heat exhaustion too sometimes because I just don't like water. I'm a huge fan of water, and like I don't eat very much either, so like I'm very weak. So like if I do go out and be too athletic, here in Florida, it
Oh,
just it kills me.
yeah, Florida's yeah, a little bit too humid for me. I live in Tennessee, so I mean, like, it's right now just way too hot and humid. It's like 90s. I'm like, oh my god.
I hate the humidity, man.
I I used to live in Phoenix, Arizona, which is nice. It's a dry heat. Um, but that just got way too hot in the first place because 120 plus is just way too big on the numbers. It's no matter what you do at that point, it's just like I'm just dying. Yeah. Uh, but I mean, I understand myself. I'd avoid the sun as much as possible, which I know is not necessarily a good thing. But if I know I'm going to be out in the sun, I try to make sure I'm like there's cover, like shade, and drink water. And my
I
nutritionist said that like even though I personally hate the taste of water for most waters, like water bottles. But like using like a Mio, the squirt bottle stuff, anything like that is okay, because it's mixes with the water. But like sweet tea isn't good. Uh, Soda, the carbonation takes the oxygen out of your blood, so that's not good.
I drink a little bit too much soda, to be honest.
At one point in time, I was drinking 2 liters in a day.
I mean, I don't know if I drink that much. I drink like 2 to 3 cans a day.
Um, yeah, that's still especially not drinking water in between. That's definitely, well, not necessarily a good thing. Um, I was drinking 2 liters when I was working at a call center, like, and I was sitting. It was horrible. I gained so much weight.
So, uh, what are your thoughts on the theme for the
Um,
group?
if we do mythical creatures, I would say like or yeah, mythological creature type things or folklore. Just make it something like do a good search for stuff. I'd rather not see like, you know, Red Riding Hood is like okay, like I like the idea of the grandma wolf, but um, but then it's like, well, what other Hansel and Gretel? What are you gonna have a broom for a Zord for the witch? Um,
Yeah, not all of them are very good.
yeah,
I was just going off the idea of like folklore or fairy tales they had brought up. And I was
yeah.
like, I didn't even think about the wolf being my Zord thing. I had just thought the Zord would be a mythical animal, and then I'd be Red Riding Hood.
Well, that definitely would make sense of Red Riding Hood and the wolf, um, depending on if which version of Red Riding Hood you follow, like Into the Woods or uh, the Grimm brothers. Um, I don't know if you've seen it Into the Woods.
I'm a theater kid, but I've seen it, but I didn't really care about it.
Did you see the play or the movie?
I've seen the play
Okay,
back in high school. I watched it. I don't remember too much about it though,
I
to be
enjoyed the
honest.
movie. Like I haven't seen the actual play. I know about it and like what happens, like to the narrator and stuff. um, but yeah, I enjoyed the movie. Um, but like the huntsman like kills the wolf and Red Riding Hood wears his cloak, his body.
It's a little weird, a little messed up.
Well, I mean, the wolf did eat Grandma and Red, so
I mean, yeah, but then wearing him, you know? I mean, that's like someone killing my mom and then I skin them. I'm like, yeah, revenge. It's just weird. Like if you think about it logically.
well, I would many different like warrior old tribes like I know there's Native Americans and Polynesians that like they would eat the heart of the person that they killed. The warriors would, as a way of symbolizing like their soul, like absorbing their soul and gaining more power. Although that did actually kill them.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not a warrior then.
Um, but yeah, I mean, well, like killing a deer and wearing the deer makes sense if like you use what you can of it. Like try not to let any go to waste because it shows more respect to the animal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, the red wearing him, yeah, it could be kind of weird, but I mean, it's better than like Daniel Boone wearing a raccoon hat that he didn't kill. I don't know if he actually did kill the raccoon, but I've seen people wear raccoon hats and like they're not real raccoons, or if they were, you didn't actually kill it. Um, I I also like the idea of either the canine or feline because like there's a lot of varieties that you could do.
There is. We could have a lion and then jaguar, cheetah, panther. Um, and then what would a fifth one be?
Just not a Pyrenees cat.
Just a house cat?
Well, I mean, you could. It's a cat, right? I mean, there's different types of house cats. Siamese. You know, and
Oh, a tiger. That's what. Did I say tiger already though?
you could go with, well, but it's like I mean, tigers, like, I don't know, like tigers, panthers, and what is it, jaguars? I mean, like, they're a little on the similar side, like
I mean,
like build wise.
his build wise, yeah, but like color wise, they look
Yeah,
pretty much completely different. And that's just the inherent problem of having 5 rangers that have like the same family of animal, you know? Like I don't really know what variety you're going to get from having 5 different cat zords, you know? Other than like the lion having a large mane that makes him distinctly bigger looking than the rest.
and the Siamese cat, which is just super skinny, like, you know, a twig.
But like that's just the inherent problem of going of having 5 rangers have like the same animals of a family. Because like what if we did go with birds? Well, then all the birds would look basically the same, just like different colored.
Well, I mean, you got like a buzzard, a stork, uh, uh, or flamingo maybe. Then you have like, there's a lot of birds. I played Wingspan a couple too many times probably. Um, but then you got like, duck is a bird, classified as a bird. You got the hummingbird. You have, um, like, I'm trying to think what else, like an eagle. I mean, like, you can get variety. I mean, it might not. It would be kind of weird also with building like, oh, okay, so everybody can fly, which is cool. That, Megazord being able to fly is always cool. Um, but that's a lot of wings.
Yeah.
Now foxes or canines, you could get away with, with saying, a kitsune technically is, yes, it's mythological, but it's a canine.
Yeah, but like if we're going with canines, then I don't really know. It'd probably just be a better idea to go with a fox than a Kasune. A Kasune, I'd imagine, probably be more along the lines of a 6th ranger, you know, where they're a
Yeah,
bit special, because they're still technically a canine, but they're a special canine. Kind of like who was it in the Mighty Morphin? There was tiger, saber-tooth tiger, and then white tiger.
right.
So like there could be a wolf as the pack leader, coyote, um, fox, jackal, not jackal,
Uh,
hyena. That's what I meant to
yeah.
say. And then what would be a good 5th one?
Um,
Well,
well, I mean,
aren't
like you got
jackals?
like you got Arctic wolves, and then you have like gray wolves. Like, I mean, yeah, they're kind of the same, but like size, they're different and a little bit different
But like
build.
as a Zord, you're not gonna be really telling the difference other than that they're different colors.
Oh, what was
They
that?
have to be distinctly different from each other. That's why
There's
like no That's why Jungle Fury is the only series where they have like Zords that look almost identical, just differently colored.
Wild Forest, the Bear Brothers. I did enjoy that part. The Bear Brothers, I liked them. Cause
I gotta watch Wild Force.
I mean, do you? I mean, it's okay. The thing that I hated the most about Wild Force was the flute playing and her singing. They did it way too much. When they summoned the Zords, there's a flute playing multiple times. I'm like, I understand you're summoning them from the Animaria, or, I think the floating island, but um, yeah, the flute. It got way too much.
That's why I had suggested mythical animals, because mythical animals are very diverse, and everyone could be happy with what they want to go with. You know, because there's always that one person that wants a really obscure Zord or a really strange one that that would never be in any actual Power Rangers show, but it's a TTRPG, so goddamn let them have it.
I want Cthulhu Zord.
I want the Jackalope Zord. Well, go for it, buddy.
Can I have the Jack in the Box Zord? You got to give him a couple minute turns before he actually comes out. Ah, jokes.
I
Uh,
don't.
what? You don't know a Jack in the Box?
No, I do.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
like thinking, like I had one to do a Phoenix because I felt like that really fit, but then, uh, the guy I forgot what his name was.
Lord Logan? Or no, not Lord Logan.
The guy that just
Lord
joined.
Zeppelin.
Yeah,
Zeppelin.
Zeppelin. He wanted to do a Thunderbird, which is like the same thing as a Phoenix, but with lightning instead of fire. So I don't know. I was kind of banking on that one. I wasn't. Now I'm a little stuck. What mythical animal would be good in red?
Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be red per se, but I mean, let's look up.
I mean, if it's like the White Ranger or the Pink Ranger from Wild Forest, where they're white but with strips of pink, then like it's the same difference, Like it's still gonna be red, even if there's like some type of secondary color.
Let's see. Hmm.
I
100.
don't know a lot of mythical animals off the top of my head.
Let's see. Let's see. So, 10 greatest mythological creatures and legendary creatures by myth and folklore. I did a Google search. Werewolf, dragon, chimera, Loch Ness monster, mermaid, yeti, basilisk, sphinx, Medusa, griffin. Um,
Griffin and dragon definitely could work. I feel like dragon's a bit overused though,
yeah.
but I think a griffin could be pretty good.
So, non-existent, or the existence of non-existence, or the existence or non-existence of legendary creatures and mythological creatures. The list is continued. Like there's 100: centaur, hippogriff, fairy, kappa, Pegasus, ghoul, pixie, cyclops, redcap, manticore.
The manticore has wings, right?
Similar to the sphinx, consisting of a human head, lion's body, with tail of poisonous spines.
Because I know they had a scorpion tail, but I could have sworn there was like a lion hybrid that had wings.
That yes, there is. I don't. Let's see. So there's okay. So the list. I'm going to go continue with the list, but it has like a typhoon, which is a deadly serpentine giant, a sea serpent, a leprechaun, Finner, which is a gigantic monstrous wolf from Norse mythology,
Yes,
uh,
yes, I remember that boy.
hippocampus, lower body of a fish and upper body of a horse,
Oh yeah.
uh, oh gosh, this one I can't. Chipat Chipactly. Oh, it's weird. Sea monster associated with being part frog, and part fish, and part crocodile. crocodilian Aztec mythology. Imp, which is similar to a goblin or fairy. A minotaur, a hydra, uh, a monstrous hostile being. I don't know the formarians. I've never heard of these. It's Irish mythology. I don't know any Irish
I,
Irish mythology.
I could always go with something that'd be completely out of left field and do something like a pixie or a fairy.
I
Just
I love left fields.
because that's typically what I like to go with, but I felt like that'd be something more akin to like blue or pink ranger.
Oh, I said I was the Cerberus. I'm not the Cerberus. I'm Manticore. There's somebody else in our game that's the Cerberus. Um, let's see.
I had considered Cerberus. That was also a strong contender.
Half snake and half woman referred to as the mother of monsters.
A
The
Lamia.
Echidna. Uh,
Oh, Echidna.
yeah, Knuckles.
Yeah.
Um, oh, those things look weird. Oh, Formians are kind of like I don't know how to really explain these. Looking look like well, there's a fish that's walking on. It's like standing upright, walking on fins.
A reverse mermaid.
It's kind of weird. But they also have like it's really lots of different. Wonder if I can copy the image if it will actually work. Sometimes I copy and paste image and it doesn't actually work. Put this in the general chat on Discord. Like it looks weird. I don't know. That's from Irish mythology. Like there's lots of different weird things. Let's see. Adlets, creature with upper human body and lower body of a canine. Uh, that's from Inuit mythology. Ooh, a cactus.
Like from Final Fantasy.
Fire breathing giant. Roman mythology. Um, Hectoconries? I hate trying to read out loud sometimes. Um, Pretty sure I have some form of dyslexia. It's never actually been diagnosed. Um, Hectoconchoners. It's a Greek mythology. 3 ferocious giants with incredible strength. Um, Ground. Like Geround. Geryon. Like it's a monster with 3 human heads. Scorpion man. Creature with body of a scorpion and arms, torso, and head of a human. Fatchan, a ferocious giant with half a body. That doesn't. That makes no sense. On how do you have half a body, like your left half and right half? Oh, okay. Okay, I recognize that. Okay, so it's like it has a foot and has a hand, or maybe 2 hands, and then just a mouth. They use this on, I believe that was magic card. That'd be a weird sword for sure. Um,
Oh, attractive. Who wouldn't want that as their sword?
It's gonna hip hop, hippity hop hop. I should probably put some of this stuff up on like the Roll20 because people aren't not able to see the pictures. Boop. Let's loop paste. Oh, that's not working. All right. Copy image lists. Maybe this might work. Nope, that didn't work.
I know you can put pictures in the chat. I don't
Yeah.
know how people do it though.
I don't either. I've seen it in the game that I play in, but
Okay, bye.
boop, boop, boop. I wonder if I can hand out. Yeah, I'll just do it this way. Put it as a handout, and then I copy image. This should work, hopefully. Nope. Oh, I wonder if I could do.
So you guys want to go with the key and lock morpher?
I mean, it's okay, but not one of my favorites. Did it work? That did not
I
work.
just feel like that one's like it's a good idea, but it's a bit overdone since in most series they have either a cell phone, a bracelet that functions as like a key and lock, or like they just push a button on it, or like some type of belt. And I don't know. I really just didn't want to have just another bracelet, you know? I wanted to do something a bit more unique.
Everybody has glasses.
That would be fine.
Or like ear, like I don't know. I'm trying to think of what movie or anime like ear headphones almost, but just like covers the
I
one
think
ear type thing.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what series it was either. But I remember that idea.
And I'm not talking like Dragon Ball Z, Power Reader. Ooh, everybody has pocket watches. Because that's what the Dragon Ball Finder is. Let's see what other mythological creatures. An ogre. Um,
Get out of my swamp.
I personally like a kappa. I think that's a cool idea.
That would be very interesting. Probably something for the green or blue ranger to have, considering it's a turtle. So blue for water and green because turtles are generally green.
Images. Oh, that's kind of weird. Well, we'll not do
And
that.
then a name. That was also something we were struggling to come up with the other day as a name for the team.
Well, I mean, I think with the if they like with the mythological creatures. And like I said, the game that I'm playing in is uh, Mythic Force, um, but
That
but
sounds a little bit too on the nose in comparison to Mystic Force.
it's called the Forgotten. Um, this creature is actually kind of cool.
Ooh, what about
Hoshi.
how?
It's really weird. It's a gigantic land creature from Persian mythology, but it's actually really cool. Um, there's a couple different arts. Looks like it's from Final Fantasy X. They have one in there.
How about Power Rangers Phantasmal Beasts? Or just Phantasmal?
Uh, yeah, I can. Phantasmal is pretty okay. Like, I was thinking, like, trying to make sure, like, I don't want to get sued for, I highly doubt I would ever get sued for copyright infringement stuff. But hey, you never know.
From from who?
Just like if something's too close to like Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, and where to find them, But
Yeah,
but I mean,
that's
again,
also what I
I
was
highly doubt that.
thinking.
I highly doubt that that will happen. But um,
I had come up with the idea because like I love the Fate series, and they call a lot of their mythological creatures phantasmal beasts.
I'll post it. This thing is actually pretty cool. And if I copy the link, I can actually put it in Roll20. It sucks. I have to like post it in Discord so then I can copy the link and post it into Roll20 so it can pop up. But this thing's actually pretty cool. It's a um, Persian mythological creature, but they had it in Final Fantasy X, like almost like a wolfish type thing, lion with horns.
Hmm. That would be pretty cool for one of the Rangers.
Um, let's see.
CC, you there, my boy?
I am.
Oh, hi. We've
Hi.
mentioned your name a couple times.
I did fall asleep earlier a bit, and I
It's
woke up.
it's okay. That happens.
Yeah, I had a bit of an early morning, and then just yeah, passed out for like 20 minutes. Not gonna lie.
Ooh,
So,
cockatrice,
CC,
harpy. Sorry. Good.
we were talking about themes here, and I think most people want to go with like a mythical beast theme.
Okay. I have been hearing that one. And then I heard the idea of mythic force. And phantasmal was the word I think I just heard.
Uh, Mythic Force is actually a game that I play in on Monday nights.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I heard mythic force mentioned, but I'm like, I don't know what the context was anymore off of the top of my head.
And then I mentioned Power Rangers, Phantasmal Beasts.
Yep. Mythic, fantastic. Um,
We're just like looking at different mythological creatures we could do.
And I would like to, possibly try to stay away a little from like the most common ones. But like, let's find weird, cool ones.
Ooh. Um.
Garuda is actually kind of cool. There's so many good arts. Let's go.
Let's see.
Copy image. Post in Discord. And copy link to put it in Roll20. I see there's some users watching. Anybody in the chat want to toss in a suggestion?
Oh well, one of them is just me.
Right. Well, according to the thing I'm using, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 other people.
Hold up, let me refresh my page.
I just saw it. One.
Um, and the creature that you were asking about is just a winged lion. A mythological beast lion with bird-like wings.
Just a winged lion down.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool name.
We're focusing on creatures, right? Not really something that would be more human in nature either.
I mean, like, I mean, I think a minotaur would be okay.
I was looking
But
at Banshee.
What does
um,
that look like?
That they can look a lot of different ways, to be honest.
yeah, think of just joke I would say would not make any sense. I was gonna say just look at my mom. Just normally banshees are like really frail, like women, like almost ghostly looking, and they scream really loud. Like, that's why
I don't.
the wail of banshee.
I mean, there are a lot of ways you could do it, but they're all pretty much just humans that look grotesque. I feel like for us, we need something that's more creature based. I think like the closest thing to a human would probably be like a fairy or pixie or a mermaid.
That looks cool. We probably could do mares of Diomedes, hell mares.
A Hydra would be interesting.
That would be cool.
In the game that I play in, we have a Hydra too. It's. I mean, like
Well, I'm
it's
looking
good,
at
but yeah.
Stylus, but like Stylus have like too much of a human body, and then like its bottom half is basically a Hydra, and I was like, oh, a Hydra would kind of be cool. Stylus are like Ursula almost, except their heads have faces, or tentacles have faces.
Oh, this thing is so cute. I like it. This would be cute. Boop. Copy link.
Salamander? What is this?
Ooh, Garoos are always fun.
Hmm.
All right. Did it go? All right. Copy image link. I really like this one. This thing is cute. Like absolutely cute. I wish I had one. Um, all right. Um, the latest one I put in the general chat. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
that one. That one's a good one.
yeah. It's like really weird, but it looks really cute.
I would go with an Aspidochalone, or also better known as an island turtle.
A what?
An island turtle.
Oh.
Not familiar with that one.
I don't like that face on that one, but this is a cool one. Oh, mm,
That sounds weird. The description of this animal is an ant-lion hybrid. And
We just mount a gun on the turtle's back.
yep, you could mount it down on the turtle's back. Oh,
Monoceros? That sounds weird. Horse with a tail of a boar, feet of an elephant, and head of a stag with a single horn.
Here you go, CC. I found you're a monster. Damn, never mind. You're never gonna see it. It's too big of a file.
Do a screenshot.
Well, I'm on my computer right now. I like
Control P.
what?
Control P.
Never. What? Wouldn't that just paste it?
That's
That's Control V. Control P is print screen.
oh, I did not know that. I have a button that I press for it.
Ah,
You know what? I'm too lazy, so you're gonna have to just forever not know.
okay.
But this one's pretty cool.
Who's truly missing out? It's you for not telling me.
Wait, I found this. I actually found this really cool creature. It's like a cat, a bull with horns.
Ooh, somebody can have a narwhal. They're like a mythological creature.
Yeah,
No, narwhal's real.
I know.
are they real? I honestly don't know at this point. People say it is, but like it's depicted in media as they are, but they are also aren't. Like I don't even know anymore, man.
Ooh.
Just summon's a Tarask from 5e.
Well, Tarrasque is an actual. Was it Tarrasque or just saw one. I was like, oh, I know that name from
With
playing.
Odin's horse.
Yeah, it was a Tarrasque. So it's a fearsome dragon-like hybrid from French mythology.
Perfect, CC. I mean, who
And
wouldn't
you,
want to be a horse with 8? Wait.
Right?
uh,
Who doesn't want a horse that can run faster and trip more?
well, that's actually in our game, the game that I play. Um, this thing is cool. Are
I'm
you like a
like,
turtle?
it's the giant turtle, the island turtle, right? It reminds me of Avatar.
Island. Oh, from wait, the giant island turtle that uh, Atlantis is supposed to be on.
Maybe? I don't know of Atlantis on it, much that I can think of, but in Avatar The Last Airbender, they're giant, like, lion turtles, even that they're called. Actually, I should look them up. That would be a good one.
So there's this Tarascon is the name of a creature, and um, it's like I think it's supposed to be what the Tarrasque actually is, which is like a kind of a lion-ish turtle dragon. Um, I wish my friend who lives in France was on. I would ask him. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
what do
not
you
a
know
good
about is
question for
like
him.
50-50, because just because he lives there doesn't mean he knows the mythology.
Well, he has better chance than I do. That's for sure. Oh yeah, yeah. That's okay. So that's different, but yeah, like this is what I found. It's kind of similar. That's a really not so pretty picture of it.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but where's the pretty picture I saw of it? I like this one. Um, boom, copy image. Boom.
Oh, this is actually pretty cool. Oops, sorry, no, didn't want to save image. Copy it.
Well, GMXNG said that he liked that we touched on the
Oh, that's a
Irish
cool
folklore.
picture of it.
The
Oh,
one
that deer thing is really cool.
which one?
The one Dio just sent.
Okay. Oh, the leopard deer. I don't know what that is, but that's
It's
cute.
called a Yale or a centaur.
Oh yeah,
A four-legged beast, creature with boar-like tusk, large horns, and resembling a goat/antelope.
let's see. I think that's really cute as well. I like cute things. Not necessarily everybody needs to be cute, but why not, right? Let's have some cute things while everything is going to hell in a handbasket. Yeah, that's
Oh, you know what? This is cool. I apparently in Arthurian legend, there's this animal called a questing beast,
Mm-hmm.
and
yes.
it's
I was
like
reading about that one.
Yeah, yeah. They're kind of interesting. Magic the Gathering has made a card for it.
I kind of like the Magic the Gathering version a bit more. Cause like I like the three-headedness of their version. Cause the normal one just has like a single head. It's a bit weird. Cause like I can't tell what the Magic the Gatherings version is. Kind of looks like it has like top part of a lion with like, and then the head. Its three heads are like dragon but with fur, and then its tail's like
The serpent.
I guess I don't know. It's like green and it's scaly, but it kind of looks like it has like a pointed tip to it, like a stinger. It's weird.
I like
Like here,
I
I'll
like
send a
this one.
picture.
I just shared it on Roll20. That one actually I think it looks pretty cool. That's technically a Tarrasque, but it's yeah, it is different. Um, find. Yeah, it looks kind of like a almost like the questing beast from Magic. Almost looks like a has a lion and I guess it's like a lion with a snake tail. I guess and just a hydra.
I don't. This is definitely a strong contender, like the Magic the Gathering version of it. Or even like the normal version is pretty cool.
How about Amit? AMMIT. It's a uh, human devourer with a body believed to be part hippopotamus, crocodile, and lion from Egyptian mythology.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that one Egyptian god.
well, no, um, because the Egyptian god was Sebet, right? Or Set. The crocodile ate the sun. It was Set, right? Set ate Ra. I think that's how it goes.
I don't know. I
Um,
barely know anything about that mythology.
it's been way many years since I've done any study of individual mythologies. like I was in high school. Um, yeah, that's forever and a day ago. Let's see if I can.
Ooh, a serpapard is also pretty radical. Like, oh, wrong chat. This one, I think it looks pretty radical.
Let's see. How about the bull with a serpent tail?
Hmm?
It's let me see one that doesn't look completely stupid. This one is not bad. Um, God, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the names. Oh, that thing, that serpent cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually looks pretty cool.
I think the final one you were looking at earlier, the Ahuizoto, it like is like a dog creature with a hand on its tail.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. But and like the face though is like the eyes and is all the way close to the opening of the mouth, which is kind of weird. I definitely want to look up individual like Irish folklore monster. That would try to get a little bit of everything. And that's what in the game that I play in they do. We have something from different parts of the world. Um, um, let's see.
Huh. Siren. It's pretty cool. But we already got a bird person. I think I'll pick between the questing beast and the serpapard. One of those two.
Wow, I tried to look up a like an individual mythological creature, and like nothing shows up for it. Like, how did I find this on the website and it didn't even pull it up when I did a search? Like, I wonder if they misspelt it. Let's see.
Though I wish the questing beast had a proper name for the species rather than just being called questing beast.
Okay, so they did actually misspell it. Oh, that looks weird. I don't think anybody would want this, but uh,
Yeah, I saw a few that were like that were like worms, and I was like, that'd be interesting, but I don't think anyone's gonna take it.
yeah, they could be the spine of the Zord. Or the boa of the Zord.
The boa? What's a
Yeah,
boa?
like a feather boa. You know, like a go to Hawaii. They put the ring of flowers. They lay like a lay, but
Oh,
it's a feather boa. It's just it's open ended and it's like feathers and very popular back in like I think it was like the 50s, 60s.
they that range is just there for decoration, man. Everyone else gets a body part. They're just sitting on top. They're like, yes. I,
I'm fashionable.
forget being helpful. I'm gonna sit here and look nice. That will intimidate the enemy.
Well, you can actually make weapons intimidating, so. um,
I mean, they take one look at that sword, they're like, "Oh, I'm out of here, man. I don't want to fight that." Because it's just how strange it looks.
I would like a Baylor, but at the same time, Baylor might just be too much. Like too humanoid y.
What's it called?
A Baylor. In D&D, they're a demon, but um, Baylor of the Evil Eye, a man who possessed a giant eye that could kill anyone and destroy countries.
Hmm.
I'm looking up like uh, directly Irish mythological creatures. Um, somebody could be the tree elk. I don't know what.
Tree elf.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just looking for something else, and I see a picture of a tree elk. Like
I don't think it wouldn't be hard to make a team that's
tree elk.
Oh, that's interesting. Though I guess as a Zord that kind of just look like a normal elk, but with like a bush on the antlers.
See.
I think the hardest part is finding a balance between everyone that everyone's satisfied with. Because like we don't want to have like three people that chose like lion hybrids or four people chose birds, mythological birds, you know?
We could have a cat Sith.
What does that look like?
Um, Good question. I'm trying to do a search for it, and
As far as I could tell, it's just like a black cat that like looks very menacing.
It looks like it has been shot in the chest. I don't know.
Cause like
Uh,
I was just playing Persona today and I saw a cat sit and I was like, that's not how it actually looks, is it? And I searched it up. I'm like, no, that's basically how it looks. It's just a cat.
a large black cat with a white spot on its chest. Legend has it that the spectral cat haunts the Scottish Highlands. The legend surrounds this creature are more common in Scottish folklore, but a few occur in Irish. Um, it's not really something I'm looking for. Nope.
CC there.
Yes.
All right, so do you want to join uh Maya and with his practicing Digimon?
I probably won't play at all, but I might join and just listen in
Okay.
for a little bit at least. I do have another call in like an hour, but
Well, of course you have a D&D in an hour.
well, I don't think we have that to be honest.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, which means my other call I can enter instead earlier than I was gonna do later.
This is, I mean, I don't know if this is accurate, but I think this would be cool. Uh, a Dobharchu, the Irish water hound. It's like a ferret, weasel,
Huh.
ferret with. But like I've seen like other pictures for it don't look the same, but um, it's kind of this one looks a little bit more scary.
Saying that.
Boop.
Ooh, I like that one.
And they have another one that's more like a Loch Ness monster style for it. It's a okay. So the information says you can also call it the king otter, as its confusing appearance like a mix of a hound and an otter with fish features. The creature haunted people who bathed in a deep lake and river waters. Supposedly, the animal didn't get wet due to its waterproof fur.
So CC, are you able to play tomorrow
For which
for the campaign?
I should be able to, yes.
Wait, never mind.
That's
Aster
so
called you out. He was like, "You ain't getting away from me, CC."
what?
Look in the channel.
Oh,
He
and
said
I
he
don't
might
have
not
to go?
actually
Go to what?
cancel. What?
Where are you looking in the
I'm
channel?
I'm looking at the testers only where he's like, "Oh, I might not have to go."
That's what I just saw. But go to
Yeah,
what?
go away.
Oh,
I
I
don't
thought he
know.
already was away and was coming back and wouldn't be back in time. I'm so confused, Aster.
I don't know, man. He Aster, his mind works in strange ways, but we might. We're I mean, if that statement is true, we're probably gonna have session then. So be prepared for that, CC.
Oh, that was my first expectation on anything tonight. So
Good, because I'm gonna hold a gun to your head if you don't come. Tonight is your night, CC. I know it is.
I think it's yours actually, probably.
It probably is. But I want to believe it's yours, so I'm holding a gun to your head. All right. I'm gonna go join Maya now. I'll see you later, David and
All right.
CC.
Well, y'all have a good one. And I do still plan on running next week. So,
That
um,
sounds wonderful.
and hopefully we'll
No
have
problem. I'll be there.
one other person, and I'll make sure that their character sheet's already done ahead. If you guys find stuff that you like, just post and we can like.
I'm thinking the lion turtle, to be honest.
Oh,
I'm leaning towards the six-legged lion turtle.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with the questing beast. Uh, or maybe the leopard part or whatever it's called. The snake jaguar. No, I'm just talking.
that reminds me of Free Guy. I don't know if you've seen that movie yet.
It's so incredible. That is one of my favorite movies. I
Oh,
love Ryan Reynolds. Oh,
yeah.
but I'm also Canadian, so
I mean, I won't fault you for that. Joke.
I appreciate
But
it. I appreciate it.
you're not French Canadian, right?
I am not. I'm not from Quebec. I am from Ontario.
Okay, that's fine. I'm again joking. I know so many people that are Canadian that don't like French Canadians, and I've had a roommate who was French Canadian. And he just threw it around like he was entitled. Just I'm French Canadian. It's like
And we
congratulations.
there are some what's the word? Some disagreements between various people within Canada, even themselves. So Quebec kind of wants to be its own country, even.
Yeah, it's kind of like Florida's the butt joke of United States. Sorry, it kind of is. Um, if you've watched The Good Place,
Yes.
Jason Mendoza,
Yep.
it's like
Oh, that. Oh, he got so much flack.
I thought it was funny, but it's like yeah, I like this dog with wings. It's
The
cute.
wolf with wings. It is
Yes,
pretty cute.
it's Irish mythology. I would like to try to have different mythology. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Slavic. But I would like to have different mythologies
I'd
possibly.
either go if like someone goes like I'd either go with the Norse, the Sleipnir then, or the lion turtle is I don't know exactly what mythology to be honest, but I
Um,
think it's a Middle Eastern mythology. It was one of them offhand. I can't remember exactly which one though is the issue.
oh gosh, I
All right.
just
I'll see
looked.
you guys later.
All right,
Bah,
Bye.
I just looked it up too. Uh,
right?
I guess I could do a search on here. Control F. Yeah. Um, oh, wasn't that the was it that the Tarrasque? The French
Was
version
it
though.
called the Tarrasque? Yes. You called it the Tarrasque, yeah, earlier.
Um, nope. All right, let me look at my history. Yeah, yeah. So it's T A. Well, yeah, it says Tarrasque, but it was I will post it because it is impossible for me to actually pronounce. Boop boop. Um,
Ooh, the
some,
Thunderbird.
so yeah, it's Tarascun, which I mean it's the Tarascun is a it's essentially a Tarask, which is a uh, um, they say it's a dragon hybrid because of like
Okay.
the scales, I guess.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, it's let's see, um, or maybe that's where the creature is from. Let me do a search on here. French. Oh yeah, no, it's Tarrasque, just regular Tarrasque. Yeah, I guess it's from that region maybe in France, but I like the uh, Gardua, which is Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain mythology. It's a human eagle hybrid, but the only issue with that is it's a humanish person. All right. Maybe let's see. Well, we got a few more people. Maybe somebody who is watching wants to join. We still have one slot left. Um, and hopefully nobody will get scared because what's his name? Lord Zeppelin. Uh, like said something about not wanting it to be too dark, but hopefully I don't go that far. I'll try to make sure I don't. But it's going to be dark anyways, right?
Dark is so much fun though. As long as it's not horror-esque, dark is amazing.
I talked to somebody who GM'd a game where he literally was torturing the characters, like actually torturing the characters, because they said, "Oh, everything is okay." I mean, like I wouldn't want to do that. I have played in a campaign where, well, multiple campaigns back in the day, people were being rude, bullying somebody, and it's like his character always got raped. Well, he did kind of sometimes put himself in a position for that to happen, but they were also bullying him because they didn't like him. Um, but it's like, they bullied him, but he also, when you say, "Hey, how can I entertain these orcs?" You know, you know, entertaining the orcs and being I'm trying to remember what he was. I think he was a. I know he was a bard. I just don't remember what race. But yeah, it's. I wasn't running into games where that happened, but you know, I'm anticipating not necessarily a player character being raped, but an NPC being raped, maybe. But again, I will approach this stuff with um, I'm trying to think of the right wording. Like honor to the people who've been through it, but like I have also been through it, so you know I understand. I've been through a lot, to say the least.
Wow.
Um, you saw the did, did you see the warning? I thought I sent it to everybody.
I have no idea. I I I don't
Um,
think I've seen a warning.
Let me see. Okay, let me find a warning that I've sent to people. Um, I actually have it uh, on the stream, like in the note area, like that it may get intense. A lot of stuff, but again, nothing that I personally haven't experienced. So, um, wait, let's pull up the file. Boom. All right. Boop. And directly message you. Like, this is what's on my stream info.
Okay.
So, um, yeah, a lot of stuff. And sorry how like it weird like is spaced, but I think it was just because of how I was typing it on Notepad. I feel bad. It feels like we haven't really accomplished much. But I mean, having a new person join because two people had to be kicked.
Vanished.
Yeah, I think they'll be better like doing like a three-person because it's a couple and they both are socially awkward.
Ah.
So like I think that probably was part of the problem. Like I've known one of them for many years, and yeah, it's like you got heat exhaustion in Colorado, but you used to live in Phoenix, Arizona. Like you should know how to avoid heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay. If you know anybody else, we still have one slot left, and maybe they'll pick a pink. It's kind of weird, like seeing a team that doesn't have a pink.
It it is interesting, that's for sure. Like not having that like full range support.
Yeah, I'm playing a pink in the game on Mondays, and I'm enjoying it. Uh, trying not to break the game though, as hard as I can, not to break the game. Being able to throw items, like your power weapon being a thrown sidearm and throwing multiple things, and having ninja power to get the edge on all your speed rolls, which is targeting for the thrown weapon, or you know, or athletics, depending on which one the GM chooses. Um, I did like pull back a little bit on stuff. Like I'm like I don't want to do like too much damage. I just want to do a little bit more. Like now it's up to like 2 damage for the weapon. I stopped throwing multiple ones. I only throw one now. Uh, Before I was throwing multiple chakrams.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's a little bit on the broken side with being a pink ranger on that. Like being able to throw multiple in a single turn. Um, like if you have a side weapon, if it's listed as side, uh, or sidearm, you can have one in each hand, and you can attack with a downshift for the first main hand and a two downshift on the offhand.
Okay.
So I literally was like, all right, let's huck 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 huck. So using the pink's uh, rapid fire, throw three of them. Uh, in a normal turn, throwing two. But I'm okay with not doing a whole ton of damage. I just I like making this more story stuff. Like I didn't choose to have science. I attempted to heal somebody, so then I used the science skill, which I wasn't having points in. When I got essence bonus, hey, now I can put a point in to that. So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't going to go ninja because, but we had ninjas. Like we have Adam and RJ.
Okay.
So like we can have ninja and ninja's around too. So um, we don't really see him though. But so I'm like I could do ninja, but it's not really how the character would play. Not trying to be like. Have you ever experienced those people? Like, oh, this is what my character would do, and they just use it as an excuse.
Like to metagame, kind of.
Not necessarily metagame or like metagame or just be a jerk. Like, oh, my character. This is what my character would do to, I'm just going to randomly kill somebody. That's what my character would do.
I. Yep. Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
I get it in role playing a bit, like because there's sometimes like where I want to like role play a character that's like vastly different from myself. Um, but also like normally my characters like incorporate me in a lot of different ways it ends up being. That's why I want to try to design one that is vastly different and try playing it at some point. Um, but like there's some things where I'm like, even if your character is like this, you really don't have to go that extreme necessarily. Like your mention of certain things happening in certain campaigns, I'm like, that's fun, I guess, for them. I guess if that's what they liked to try to role play.
That was like, oh god, it was like back in 2003, like
Wow.
2003, 2005. Yeah, because it was before I went to college. So yeah, 2003 to
Okay.
2005. Yeah. So it was a while ago. People are a little bit more. I don't want to necessarily use the word woke, but
Sensitive and aware and
yeah,
courteous.
like honestly, like I've until just recently, I never had a session zero. Like that's a new thing to me, having
Okay.
a session zero because we were always it was the same group, not necessarily the same group, but it was basically the same group of people going to the game store, playing every week. Um, and
So
so
yeah, then you
we
don't
all
really need.
knew each other, so not really new people showed up. I did actually was at one point I was running a D&D campaign where I had 30 players on a rotating roster. Generally, about 7 people would show up at a night. So it was just like everybody was on auto follow, and their characters were not being used,
Okay.
but like they know what's been happening, but they're just following everybody, just like the little guy on Mario Kart. holding the camera.
Yes.
Yeah, just like that. They see what's happening, but they can't interact with us. Um, Only once did I have 15 people show up at one night. That was
Wow.
yeah, that was a little bit much. I'm like, all right, I need somebody to co-GM this tonight because I cannot deal with that many people.
Yep.
Um,
That's definitely fair. So you've been like GMing since way back then, even?
yeah, I was GMing back in '03, '05, and
Wow.
yeah, not often. I was more of a player than GMing, but I've ran different games like Legend of the Five Rings, uh,
Okay.
third edition and fourth edition, um, and D&D 3.0, 3.5 stuff. And now I've been doing uh, GI Joe and Power Rangers at the cons,
Interesting.
and I absolutely love the system just because of how flexible it is.
Yep.
And like playing 3.0 was so horrible. Like, oh, you can search, but you can't spot something because those are two different skills. Like, why are there two different skills? Searching for something and spotting something. Isn't that kind of the same thing?
You'd think probably, right?
Yeah,
But
that's what they did in this. They made it alertness. So, like, they clumps a lot of skills together and made it so much more smoother, I think. Yeah, the book is a little bit confusing at times, but um, you know, the company's been super responsive on trying to clear things up if there's any confusion. Because I don't know if you
good.
know this, the system actually was supposed to be on fifth edition when it was initially announced,
Okay.
but just with compatibility with because it was going to be Power Rangers, GI Joe, Transformers, and My Little Pony all on the same system on 5e. And they're like, yeah, this is not working. Let's make our own system. And we have Essence 20 now. Or Essence 20. Um, uh, yeah, yeah, Essence 20. Um,
Okay.
and so, unfortunately, because of the changeover, like Power Ranger book has some lingering wording from fifth edition sometimes, and so some things don't make a lot of sense. But like I said, they have an FAQ out for it. They're pretty fast on that. They answer as many questions as they can. I know somebody who's on. I don't personally know, but like there's somebody that goes on the Renegade server like every weekday to answer questions for an hour in the morning. Uh, I say morning, my mornings. Um, like 8 Central Time Zone, 8 to 9. He's
Okay.
answering questions.
Yep.
And any type of question that he can answer, he'll answer. Um, and so that's really super helpful. And sometimes a little spoilerful. uh,
Yep.
like, oh, how many rules are going to be that are not in the core book? You know, well, there could be this or this or this. What rules would those be? Like core rules, not advanced rules. Like, so the white is an advanced spectrum rule, and there's going to be more, but there's also going to be core rules uh, in later books. So, like learning some of this stuff, and uh, I've actually played with one of the designers. He was in
Oh.
one of my uh, he was in the GI Joe game that I ran. I didn't know he was who he was until he actually mentioned it. I was like, oh, okay, which was actually kind of really helpful to have him because this one person was having a lot of issues with the GI Joe that it was not real enough to what GI Joe should be. I'm like, yeah, the guy kind of went a little kind of crazy. It's a nice way of saying it. He went crazy. um,
Ah,
like this is not how uh, anybody in the Navy would act and stuff like that. It's like what? Like this is a role playing game. Um, like, but they did like I know for a fact they actually consulted like people who were in those ranches and stuff. Like they try to actually bring as much as they could of real world into a fantasy world. That's what it
yep,
is. Um, and there's like looking at the books, there's some differences like lending assistance in Power Rangers, you have to be within reach, and lending assistance in GI Joe, you have to be. I think it's like within. I think it's 20 or 30 feet or something. Like there's a little bit more of a gap that you can be away from them. And they have more laser weapons, and laser weapons could also lend assistance at a distance, wherever the range is on the weapon. So, like using a laser pointer, this is where you want to hit. Um, so it's completely different than Power Rangers. Although Power Rangers still has the laser part, but they're harder to get laser weapons in the Power Ranger game. And also, I think they said they might be changing the number of times you can aim because in GI Joe you can aim any number, I believe, and Power Rangers you can only do it 3 times. Yeah, I do apologize, like talking your ear off.
that's okay.
I don't
I
have
do not
much.
mind. I I'm one of the people who just listens to others typically, and I enjoy learning it. Is the thing, I guess.
I love teaching. I like learning too, but I really like teaching people stuff. Um,
Nice. So
but
what do you actually do? Like, because you said you go to conventions and like you kind of run it and stuff.
yeah,
So what do you do for like work, kind of then?
currently, I'm not working. That
Okay,
needs to get changed. Um, trying to get it changed. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on in my life. um,
that's fair.
I'm my mom's evicting me because she's like,
Uh,
you wouldn't leave. I'm like, you never actually asked me to leave. You just always yelled leave. And when people are arguing and stuff, you'll say things that you don't necessarily mean. And you know, like I hate you. I wish you were never born type stuff, right? You don't really
uh,
mean that. So, yelling somebody to get out of the house type thing, that you're just angry at the time. It's emotions, but not actually asking. If you ask, that's not a problem. So like I have till the 28th actually to be out, and so no job.
okay.
My car needs a new engine, um, and yeah, currently I have some prospects of where to stay, but at the same time, they don't live close enough to places where I could actually walk to work, other than working from home.
Okay.
And that's currently also the situation I'm in now. Like my mom's house is out in the boondocks. Like it's 3 miles outside the city limits, but the nearest bus stop is almost 7 miles away.
Wow.
And there's like a lot of hills, because it's Tennessee. So, um, and that's like seven. I think it's seven, or it might be six bird's eye view. But it's just like it's really hard to do stuff, and um, it's been hard. Like I've had a job, lost it because of COVID. I
Oh,
drove.
yep.
I was driving for Lyft, renting a
Okay.
car from them, and realized this is insane. They wanted like $350 a week for the rental, which is unlimited miles, but and that pays the insurance. But they took all of the money that you make and including your tips. So it's like, how do you expect me to put gas in this thing if you're not letting me get my at least my tips? I understand taking the delivery chart fees stuff, but even the tips, man. So I got a vehicle that and returned the rental to Lyft the day I paid for the insurance. On my way to Gen Con, I get love tapped by a semi, and it was a hit and run.
Oh,
Fortunately, I made sure I had the right insurance. I learned that mistake before, um, but it took forever for me to get the. So the person I bought it from a dealer. The dealer bought it from an auction house. The dealer didn't have the title, and I still didn't have the title. So yeah, the insurance gave me a rental car for a couple days, and that's it. I'm like, I still don't have my title yet. They're like, well, sorry. Okay, thanks. Um, and finally got the insurance money, found a new vehicle, and that's the current one that I have that needs a new engine. And
uh,
fortunately, I do know it wasn't anything I personally did, which I find that as a major improvement. The car is
that's good.
broken,
Yeah.
not because of me. Um, but this would be the fifth vehicle since I moved back here in 2017. So, and I was married, uh, and my husband came down with stage four lymphoma cancer, pneumonia, and his body went to septic shock.
Oh,
And
man.
and so it's like they're like, do you want to put him on a breathing tube or allow natural death? Um, and I was like, all right, old yeller, it's time to take you out back. I actually did say that, and then I told the nurse to yeah pull the plug. But it was like insane. Like so he was supposed to do a round of chemotherapy, and on it was Monday. His hemoglobins, which are red blood cells, were too low, and they said you need to go to the emergency room. Um, and they admitted him to the ICU. We stayed there. I stayed overnight, but you're not allowed to have visitors between 7 and 8. 7 and 8. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go home and take care of the dog. He was responsive, and I went home, took care of the dog. Actually went to get some good sleep because the bed that I was sleeping on was just a couch and was not comfortable. Um, and then I get a call at two, like 2:30, I think, 2:45, and they're like, do you want to put him on a breathing tube or allow natural death? I was like, the fuck happened? This like went from 0 to 60 really fast. Like he was responsive when I was leaving, and now he's not responsive.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's
Oh,
a lot of fun stuff.
mm,
I have sarcasm, but yeah.
mm,
Um,
one way of unfortunately trying to deal with it, I understand, but that's, I'm sorry.
it's okay. Don't yeah, don't worry. Don't say sorry. I know like it's a common response. Like my dad passed away in 2009, and he was a school teacher, and I heard so many people say sorry. I'm like, you're not. He was involved in a motorcycle accident. I'm like, you weren't the person that pulled out in front of him. Also, my mom was involved in that accident, and she was hospitalized. And it's like, don't say sorry. It wasn't your fault. Sorry, admits fault. And I know that's kind of weird. Like that's a general response when we hear something that like sucks, and we feel bad. But you know, again, you didn't do anything to it because I'm not crazy enough to believe that you did. So yeah, it's been wonderful. I am happy though. I have gotten through a lot of my like trying to slim down what I own. It's been hard since after my husband died. We had uh, we could easily furnish a two-bedroom apartment,
Okay.
Um, and so it's like there's a lot of stuff to go through, and
It-
a lot of emotions, and you know, I have a wonderful dog uh, that we had, and he has become super neurotic when I start cleaning. Like
Okay.
always has he always has to be up my butt. Like right now, I have a dining table as my computer desk because he's laying underneath the desk because he has to be that close to me.
Oh.
And I love him, but like I'm going upstairs, running something upstairs, I'm coming right back, and he wants to go up the steps, and he can't walk up the steps. Like,
Oh.
yeah, he has inflammation on the spinal cord, so he's like a pinball machine, and he's the pinball.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's been interesting, and I do have faith that things are going to look up. I don't know if you believe in tarot cards or anything. Um, I went to a friend's house for a what was it? It was the celebration of life of somebody, and
Okay.
the owner of the house, such a lovely lady. Like she had a tarot card stack, and she's like, pull a card, and the card I pulled was the Fool, and uh, the Fool is about the like it's basically like the first steps for a new journey. And
Okay.
I'm like, well, this is really accurate because being evicted, not knowing where to go, it's a new step for a new journey, and just look on the bright side and trying to change my way of thinking. Instead of it, oh, this sucks. Hey, it's a new adventure, right? Who knows where I'll land, but I will land.
That's at least you have the faith and the hope there still for that with everything that goes on. It's that's one thing that's often hard to find back in any way.
Yeah, yeah. It's been hard, like trying to get back to a normal-ish rhythm, sanity type thing. I do miss my old job though. I was working at a game store and I really liked it, but
Like a video game store or like a more board game and every game store.
uh, they had video games, but board games, uh, Magic,
That would be a lot of fun. That
yeah,
like a card shop or like
yeah.
game shop. Yep. Those I'm always like, oh, that absolutely looks like so much fun.
Um, the it's a local place to here, and they have like I think they have Yu-Gi-Oh regionals and Magic regional tournaments there. It's a great place called Frontline Games. They ship. Not trying to like throw advertisement, but hey, um, like super great people. The owner is a retired. I think he was an army medic, but like retired armed force person. And where I live is there's an army base, so like just super friendly. Even though he's rough around the edges because of the army, but he's super friendly. Um, just nice atmosphere, like bright. Like they have super, like it's a clean place. I've always hated like when I was back in like 2003, the local game store was like super seedy to go into. You're like, I'm afraid I'm going to get tetanus from going in here.
It's better that it's a nicer one now than at
What?
least or was. I because is he
Shortling?
still even open now again or
Yeah. He is. Yeah, he's open. Like he had to cut down on number of people, and
Yep.
then my the issue with my vehicles. So I was like, it's almost like a 30 or 25-minute drive to get there. I'm like, yeah, there's
Oh,
no way I can actually. Again, the nearest bus stop is like way too far away
quite the
to
walk.
walk. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, there's no way I can't do like go back to work there until I get a new vehicle, and getting a new vehicle has been a headache and a half. And yeah, but um, Gandhi said Gandhi said we need to be the change in the world, right? So
Yep.
um, thinking things that are not as though they were, and speaking like that, to try to change it. And I know that things will work out, and that's why like part of the reason why I held off a week, um, and then I was like, I need to do this because it for my sanity. I need this. I was hoping that we were going to be able to play a little bit today. Um, I already have an idea for the first session, and I'm like, yeah, this will be awesome. I literally just dreamt this the other night.
Ooh.
Like it's, I'm, yeah, like I will let's say it's like involving Ernie's juice bar and Ernie. Like it's a really weird dream to have.
Okay.
I'm like, this would be awesome for the game. Like nothing horrible, but just a way of interacting and stuff. So, and if you ever get a chance to play one of the uh, like the one shots, they're pretty fun. Um, especially the Power Rangers. I like the Power Rangers one. They have cool putties that explode. Like something has to happen correctly, but like I always enjoyed whenever I was running the game. I'm like, yes, yes, it finally happened, yay! Like the putty just explodes in front of you, and everybody thought it was funny too. I don't want to spoil it, so if anybody who's listening hasn't played, so that's why I'm not saying exactly what. But well, I think I'm gonna call it since everybody else
That's
dipped,
fair.
and
That.
my dog wants some attention. So
Aw.
yeah, I,
Enjoy the attention with your dog and give it all the attention. I know. I grew up with dogs a lot and I love them, so I understand doggy attention needing.
let me see. I want to post a picture. Like when you see him, you're like, oh my god. He thinks he's a lapdog sometimes. Like when you have a heated conversation, he thinks like not yelling, but um, you're intensely speaking. You know,
Yep.
he's like freaking out and wants to crawl up and just like, oh god, no, and crawl up on my lap. I'm like, hun, you're not that small. He's well, he's lost weight unfortunately, um, but he's like 40 something pounds. um, if it will go, there it goes. I just sent you um, what he looks like.
Oh,
I know he's a he's a lab chow rot coyote and inbred.
wow.
Yeah, brother sister got together to make Puppy. Puppy got back together with mom to make him, and he is the sweetest thing in the world. Um,
Oh,
you know how puppies will do the little bite on people's arms and stuff.
yes.
Um, he did that, and like the person said "ow," and stopped and licked right away where he bit.
Oh, yep.
And that was the last time he ever bit somebody.
Okay.
It's hard to see he actually had a Fu Manchu, and his coloring changes. His coat changes color depending on the time of the year.
Okay, that's darker and lighter throughout the year.
Yeah, like it's like brown, and then other times it's like a like an auburn. I don't know, they're not auburn, but like it's a reddish
Okay.
clay brown
Yep.
type thing. Yeah, it's he's super cute and super sweet. Loves everybody. Um, Not a good guard dog, that's for sure. Like,
That's often one of the things when they're so sweet and cute, and when you're like, well, and I guess you're like this, but this doesn't really help in guarding situations.
I mean, if he could, he probably would actually help somebody steal stuff. Um, he's just
Oh, you
like,
want this?
yeah, he's like, oh, let me help you. I actually I had a really good friend who actually had a dog that actually did that. Like,
Wow.
would like actually like loved everybody to the point of helped open up the door. Yeah. Why isn't it going? This one's not going. I want to share this other picture. Okay, now it went. There it goes. Yeah, Roll20 is acting up. Oh, of course, I'm probably because I'm not using a correct approved browser. Where is that coming from? Like, there's like it says like strike through Control Shift S, and I'm like, where? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe now? No, that's weird. Anyways, yep. We'll see you next week,
Yeah, talk to you next week.
and hopefully we can find one more person.
Hopefully, take care.
Yep, you too. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye.